Welcome back to Kings at the Table podcast, where if you're a king, you belong at the table. And we just got done with the wild card weekend, Juan. It didn't go exactly how you wanted it to go.
Yeah, I know.
But actually, it didn't go how I wanted it to go either.
Oh, shit. Yeah, that part.
It was a pretty freaking boring weekend.
I mean, for the most part, some of these games, actually, most of them, all one-sided.
Except just one.
One game, and that was actually arguably the best game out of all of them. I mean, obviously, because they were so close. But before we get into that game, let's go ahead and start off with the fresh ones on Monday and Monday night.
Both.
So we'll go ahead and let's touch upon the one that everybody wants to hear. Let's touch upon the Steelers, Rich.
Yeah, your Steelers, they lost 31-17 to Buffalo. They did push the game back one day, right? It was supposed to be Sunday.
Yeah, true.
And I thought that was a little off. I didn't feel like it was right. But at the same time, I seen the weather, and I was like, holy shit. Like, I've never seen a football game played like that. But there was one game that they played in Buffalo that almost did look like that.
It damn near was almost the same view.
Yeah, and I was like, why not play the playoff game? I get it. It's not going to be the realest turnout as far as how the game should be played. But at the same time, this is goddamn football.
You're supposed to play in your elements.
Yeah, if it ain't lightning, hey, lightning, okay. You can make it strike down. But a snow, man, we seen snow games.
Yeah.
What you think, Juan? I mean, your Steelers went down. What do you take from all of it?
That's the end of the season for us. It wasn't too bad of a season until the end. Things kind of turned up. But going into this game, I mean, it just showed how much we missed TJ because he would have helped out a lot. A lot of those run plays that Josh Allen was running all over us. He had that big old explosive one for, 56-yarder?
Oh, he broke.
That was a monster run. Hats off to the Buffalo Bills. Team tried to rally at the end, but specifically that one play that kind of just took the air out of everything was that Mika Fitzpatrick missed tackle one right at the very end with Shakur.
Yeah.
That one I think was the dagger point. We still had a fighting chance. We were rolling down, what was that, 7 at that time?
Yep.
So, it is what it is. Again, I didn't expect to win. I wanted to win, obviously. Who wouldn't? But kind of saw the realer picture. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But again, you guys were down 21-0, and they had that field goal. They were driving. Actually, they could have scored a touchdown. You guys stopped them. They were going to go for a field goal. You blocked it. And momentum started swinging a little bit. It was something different in the game. And it was like, I think these are the Bills that we've been kind of seeing all season. Like, yeah, they dominated that first little 21-0 skunk in a way. But you guys get it to yourself. Like, you had George Pickens fumbling on his own, not even really getting hit where his arm was. And then you got Rudolph throwing a pick in the end zone, and that's kind of what made it 21-0. But at the same time, it's basically like a 14-7 game at that point.
True. Because, we did put up that touchdown right before halftime. I was like, if we get a touchdown before halftime, we got a fighting chance.
Definitely.
And then, going into the momentum shift that you're talking about, going into the second half, our defense kind of stepped in a little bit. We were able to score another touchdown, 14-21, but they scored again. And, but I don't know, man. It was just
I'm taking away, I'm not taking nothing away from what Buffalo did. Hats off to you. You guys got the win. Josh Allen did have that second longest run in playoff history, which was the shit. I'm sitting there with my pops watching the game, and I'm like, damn, that was sick.
Yeah.
Like, he trucked dude and broke. Like, he hit the
second burner on him. It was all boom.
Gone. I was like, oh, shit, I didn't know he had wheels like that. Literally, like, a big dude like that, he was gone. Same time, though, your Steelers didn't give up.
No, they fought all the way.
And I liked how they did that because at one point I really did think you guys were going to come back.
I did too. I had a little bit of faith going into that. I was like, all right, fourth quarter, we got a chance. Let's go ahead and get a quick touchdown, play some good defense, get the ball back. Because we had a slight bit advantage with the fact that they didn't have a punter.
Yeah, the punter got hurt.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because the week prior you were saying.
That's exactly what I was saying. I was like, our punter ain't going to do shit.
Your punter.
Yeah. But, hey, unfortunately he was hurting or whatever, but – yeah, I kind of had a little bit of hope going into that, but, man, that touchdown just took it all out.
Now, going forward with Buffalo, they are going to have a home game.
And that's against the Chiefs.
Does this, give them momentum just because it's a win? Like, are they going to build off this, or is it like we don't like how we looked in the second half?
Let's not forget who stood there watching the Chiefs celebrate.
Yeah.
Stephon.
It could be a mental thing, huh?
Yep. I think this is that get back that he wants to get back from that one playoff game. 13 seconds was all they needed.
Yeah.
And, this time they get to have him at their house.
Which Mahomes hasn't been on the road in the playoffs.
Key thing right there.
Now, let's go into another team that was on the road, the Philadelphia Eagles. They went into Tampa.
The Philadelphia Seagulls more like it, man.
Yeah, they just looked really bad.
And this was the kind of a thing coming, man. We broke it down pretty good last week, talking about how, this might not even be looking too good for him going into the playoffs.
Yeah, you kind of sold it to me last week, and I was like, you know what, Juan? I haven't really specifically paid attention to the Eagles and how they were playing at the end. Now, I knew they were losing, but I didn't really realize it was consistently.
Yeah.
And it was just a down slope. Like, they couldn't put the e-brakes. Like, they tried to brake. Like, I can't stop this bad run. And they're just sliding. They seemed like they were probably the guys in Buffalo's with the fucking snow sled.
Oh, that dude was like
they couldn't stop. And,
damn.
The whole A.J. Brown thing, he didn't play. He unfollowed all the Philadelphia stuff. And I said it in the prior weeks, like, I think that is the reason why they're falling off. And for some reason, he doesn't play and he unfollows all the Philadelphia guys.
That's something.
It
might be a little bit there, too. But you know what, man? That might go back to the coach losing the locker room. I remember I told you a little while ago that I got that weird little ticker, like, the coach the owners consider possibly having to make this move with Tony Cipriani, and just if he's going to get fired or not. So that's going to be a very interesting trend. We'll keep our eyes open on that part. But, could we possibly say he kind of lost the locker room a little bit?
You can, but you can also. That's why I'm aiming towards A.J. Brown, because he's had that prior with Tennessee.
There's a little bit of a cancer factor.
Yeah, I don't want to put it all on him, but there's something going on there. Yeah. And as far as, I don't know if you saw what the fan did after the game.
He threw that bucket of popcorn.
Threw the bucket of popcorn to their head coach. And it's like, dude, you guys just went to the Super Bowl last year.
Quick to write him off.
I'm like, I get it. You guys look bad, and it's a horrible stretch, but damn. 1 year? Like, did you really expect to go to Super Bowl for 4 years straight or something?
They did go to the NFC Conference Championship, how many years in a row? And what happened? And they fucking lost.
Yeah, but that's not the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy how, I guess, just fan bases just are so quick to knock a head coach. And it's not like a guy that's been there in a long time. So this guy is just been to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Give him a break.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Going back to thinking about maybe it's the AJ factor. Let's not forget, kid Jalen Hurts have fault at this. Because I don't know if you saw that small little scuffle between him and Dallas Goedert. They got into it. He was pissed.
Hurts?
Yeah. Hurts was just sitting there like this. And fucking Goddard was standing right there just yelling at him. And then they had to pull him away. Now that might be not just AJ. It might actually be Hurts.
Is this a new Russell Wilson effect in Philadelphia?
Ooh, damn. Everybody turning on him?
Everyone's going to turn on him, saying that's not the reason why we got to the Super Bowl, but everybody gave him credit.
Damn.
Maybe.
It might be the ego for the egos.
Hey, but let's give some credit to the Bucs, though. They did handle business, and look at Baker Mayfield.
He's looking nice out there.
3 touchdowns, 300 yards, no interceptions. Like, hey, that's a solid game.
And you know what? What did you say earlier in the season? Baker might have found a home.
Yeah.
And, hey, that team is rolling right now.
He's a free agent.
I know. So, I think with this win, they kind of might have the ownership or GM kind of like, hey, you know what? We got something going here.
For sure.
So I think best move probably keep Baker.
One thing he did mention, though, as far as feeling like himself again, he gave credit to McVay. And I thought that was pretty cool. He said last year they picked me up just to come in. That's when they were on their downslide. Yeah. And there was only 5 games left. And McVay straight up pulled Mayfield to the side and was like, look, we only got 5 games left. We're not going to do anything this season. Just go be you. Go have fun. And Mayfield said, since that day, I've been having fun. And
that's all you need, man.
Yeah.
Just a little, and maybe it was one of those, like, you're saying, like, tunnel vision type of thing. Mm-hmm. But, like, he's like, hey, bro, just be free.
Be you.
Yep. And he's showing it.
And you can see it on the sideline. Like, you're looking at the Oklahoma Sooner Baker Mayfield. Like,
yeah.
Like, he's about to get a flag and put it in the middle of the stadium. Like, he's going to get a Detroit flag.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? Or a Buccaneers flag and put it on the line.
He's firing shots, folks.
Yeah.
But before we get to that part, let's go ahead and show some love to the guy who deserves some love. And that's Jordan Love.
Jordan needs love.
Jordan needs love. And the Packers, they them boys, bro. Woo!
That was
Man.
something else. And I think I got to talk on this one because I did have the Cowboys.
He said money line and the points.
To go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And again, I don't think anybody expected this blowout against the Green Bay Packers. I thought if they were going to lose, it would be to the Niners.
Yep.
But this game, I think it can go down as one of the worst losses in Dallas history. I mean, I think everybody can
Sorry, Cowboy fans.
lean that way, but it's like, dude, it was bad.
Yeah, I think we talked a little bit watching that game, and I was like, bro, you watching this? And you said, man, this game is hard to watch. And it was. Like, nothing went right for the Cowboys. Nothing. Like, CD, we were talking about how he's him. I seen him dropping passes. I mean, and shoot, man. But, hey, hands down to the Packers defense. They were doing that, bro. They looked nice.
Were they? I mean, okay. They did look good. 2 pick sixes. That's solid. But was it Dak's bad throw? You feel me? Like, it was pretty goddamn bad.
I mean, it gets to a point, man, where how much more are we gonna give him the slide on that part? I mean, this is usually the part where we get on him.
Yeah.
And when I say we, I mean I'm talking like media or whatever. Oh, Dak's not that guy. Dak's not that guy. But I mean, it's starting. This is like a legitimate pattern, bro. So like, we should just know that this is gonna happen.
Well, see, this is exactly. Yeah, this is a pattern, and this is what they're known for. Like, give it time, they're gonna mess up,
bro.
right?
Every time.
Stephen A. always talks about it. You know,
yeah.
we know the whole give it time. Now, this is the first year I was even. They made me believe, dog. Like, I was like, this is the year that shit's gonna change, and now I'm like, fuck that, dude. I'm not gonna pick the
They're
Cowboys.
the same fucking guys every year, bro.
They fucking fooled me, bro.
Damn, you got bamboozled.
Bamboozled, and if I feel that way, I can only imagine how Cowboy fans feel.
You know, it's funny. A friend of mine at work, we were joking around. She's all like, you know that new trend where they were like, oh, I'm da-da-da. Of course I'm da-da-da, right? So she's like, of course. He's just like, we're Cowboys fans. Of course we're going to get disappointed every year. I was fucking rolling, bro.
Straight up.
She hit me with that one. That was hella funny, man. But it's I don't know, man. Like, how do you fix this problem? There's got to be a fix to this problem.
Well, people are starting to say just blow it all up. You know, I know they're going to, first thing is going to try to aim at the head coach. You know that. But at one point, it's like, okay, Dak has shown this every year. This is supposed to be the year. When do you just try to move on? Like, just do it. Like, don't tell me right now you believe he can do it. Fuck no.
No.
There's no way. This was the year. Dak Prescott.
This was his
up.
window. This was his window. And then, yeah, just close it.
Who's going to believe in him? Tell me somebody. What team can he go and take a Super Bowl to?
Oh, I was going to say who would take him. I was like, oh, there's a few teams out there that would take him. But as far as taking him to the Super Bowl, that next level.
Well, that's what we talking, right?
Shit, man. I can't really.
He was a top tier quarterback all year.
Yeah. He was, but I mean, it's that playoff thing. It's almost like, you know what? It's his kryptonite is the playoffs, like Kirk Cousins is fucking primetime games. That's exactly what they're the same guys, but just different at different times.
Yeah.
That's a messed up part about it, because like, I mean, you sold me on the Cowboys getting there, and I was like, you know what? Dak is having a good ass year. Fuck it, you know, he might actually do it. Nah, man, same fucking dude every playoff season. But I mean,
what about the defense though? We can't just give the defense a pass.
Oh, bro,
They look horrible.
No love for them
At all. You feel me?
He was dishing out love, bro. I'm telling you, Jordan Love picked that defense apart. And like the crazy thing is, I know you've seen a couple of them. They're like,
all of them.
oh, well, I mean, a few of those glimpses are like, damn, that's the same fucking move Brett Favre did. That's the same move that fucking Aaron Rodgers did. Like that whole thing that you touched on, where you got a guy sitting behind somebody who's that good, and you build off of what he's teaching you and showing you, and you can see all that. right now from Jordan Love.
Definitely.
He absorbed all that game from Aaron Rodgers, and he put that on the field because there was a couple plays where like, fuck, that looked just like Rodgers.
But what gets me is, though, you got this guy, Dan Quinn, as a defensive coordinator, and now the Seattle Seahawks are pretty much saying that they're going to get him as a head coach prior to this game, and you get blown out like that to a rookie quarterback. Well, not really a rookie, but like his first year starting all year.
Yep.
And I'm talking 3 or 4 plays that are touchdowns, not even 10 yards
Within
the receiver. There's a defender, and it's like, dog, this shit seems weird.
Yeah, I remember you said that. That was fucking hella funny, man.
Like,
I do remember
cameraman had to zoom out as the guy's running. You feel me? That's pretty goddamn bad. It's like,
and he's all, hey, I'm over here.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, all right, use touchdown. Go ahead. Like, the defender was like waving him off, like, you're good.
That's just how, man, that defense crumbled.
But again, let's give the Packers some love.
Hell yeah.
Jordan Love looked really good. You did say the defense stood out.
Yeah, they did. That defense was looking pretty good, looked nice. You know, they're going to need all that momentum going into next week, which we'll get to here in a second. But yeah, hats off to the Packers pulling that good one off.
For sure. Well, let's get into the next game. You got the Detroit Lions hosting the Rams. I mean, that was probably the best game all weekend.
What up, Detroit?
They pulled it off, 24-23. A hell of a game.
Man, that was the best game of the whole weekend. Like, hands down. Like, man, that game had you at the edge of your seat. You're just like, man, who's going to pull away from it? It was a good showdown between, you know, Jared Goff and Stafford. They were going at it. One thing that did catch my attention, though, was that hit that Stafford took, though.
Oh, he got knocked out.
Man, he got knocked out. He was dazed out in the stars, bro. I was like, oh, there's no way he's coming back in. And he went out, and it wasn't even for the concussion.
No.
It was, I think, for what, like his rib or shoulder or something like that. He walked right back in the game. I'm like, bro, he didn't even know he was in Detroit right now.
Yeah, shout out to my boy Justin. He said, I watch a lot of UFC, and I've seen a ton of knockouts, and I'm going to tell you right now, Stafford was knocked out.
Oh, bro, he was like, whoa.
He was seeing stars.
For real. He was seeing a bunch of lions running around. He was like, what's going on? Where am I?
Yeah, for sure. But how about Puka? 9 receptions, 181 yards, touchdown. That's hella impressive by a rookie.
Bro, he was out there balling. He played a hella good game. He did everything right. Even when it came down to blocking, there was a bunch of plays where I see him pick up good-ass blocks. I'm like, oh, shit, Puka did that one or whatever. Whatever situation may have been, he was handling it pretty good. And Cooper Kupp had a pretty good game. But, I mean, Jahmyr Gibbs was that good second win for the Lions in that game.
Gibbs and Montgomery, they're two-headed monsters.
Yeah, but, you know, for some reason, like, I was watching the first couple drives, and I was like, you know what? Montgomery ain't moving the ball too good, but Jahmyr Gibbs picked up that little bit of slack, and that's how it ended up opening it up for him. They both ended up having that good-ass game.
St. Brown's a dog, too, though. Like, you feel me? He got played from being a Pro Bowler. Like, he should have been one.
That is one.
You know what I'm saying?
He should be one.
Yeah, like, how does he not get that vote? Again, the Lions won. They're going to get a easier route now that the Bucs beat the Eagles.
Is it going to be easy, though? We just finished saying what's up for Baker.
Yeah.
In this game, this could be they played each other prior this year. I can't remember off the top of my head who won. I think Detroit won that one.
Yeah, it was week 5 or something like that in Tampa.
Yep. So, this is going to be a good one to see. You know, is it going to be someone getting their get back or just still asserting their dominance going into the next round?
For sure. Well, one other game that they seen each other earlier this year was the Browns and the Texans.
That was a good game, too.
And
the old one.
I'm like, whoa.
I seen you like, what?
What did you see in that game? Because all I saw was the Texans.
I just saw 7 throwing bombs.
Yeah.
C.J. Stroud.
45-14. Houston Texans, a rookie quarterback. Not just a rookie quarterback, but a rookie coach. And they looked hella impressive.
They're poised, man. They're acting like they've been there before. And that's the scary thing you got to watch out for. You know what I mean? Like, C.J. Stroud is just still on his freaking A game to the max. And the way he was picking apart that defense, and especially all the praise that we've been giving the Cleveland Browns, that's the number one defense, and he made them look like a solid 10 defense.
Well, the thing about Cleveland defense is they're really good at home. When they go on the road, they're like ranked 24th.
Damn.
But there was a whole statistical thing as far as the Houston Texans going against man-to-man coverage. They're like 24th. So it was like a pretty even offense versus defense matchup, but it didn't look like it was even.
Oh, hell no.
You know, like C.J. Stroud was picking them apart. And shout out to Collins. He's a dog.
Nico Collins,
We've been giving him credit all year, but he's continuing to show it, and now he's in the playoffs showing it, so now even more people will start recognize who he is.
Yep. The Houston Texans, they could do some damage. They're offensive power juggernaut, and let's not also forget their defense put it down too.
2 pick sixes too,
Bro,
I think it was.
That shit was crazy because I was all like, damn, pick 6, cool. And then I turned around, and all of a sudden I was like, another touchdown? What happened? He goes, it's another pick 6. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. It was like 3 minutes apart.
Yeah, straight up.
That shit was crazy.
That was your boy Sleepy Joe, though.
No, Sleepy Joe was going night-night. He's done for the rest of the year. He's going to go memes.
This guy.
Fucking
straight up.
Sleepy Joe did not look good. He was Sleepy Joe.
Yeah. But what Texans can play Baltimore now, and that's going to be really tough because you got to go into Baltimore.
Yep.
So we got to see what C.J. Stroud could do on the road, too, in the postseason.
Yeah.
Do you have enough confidence that he can maybe pull it off?
Hey, you know what? I think he might. I'll say this. I can't guarantee you that they will win and that C.J. Stroud will pull that off, but I'm going to tell you this. He's going to give that defense a run for their money, I believe.
Yeah.
I believe he'll give that defense everything they can handle.
Because they played earlier this year, and the Ravens put the beat down on the Houston Texans.
I know, and this is that kind of like that get-back mentality. A lot of these games that are coming up and that we've seen have happened already prior before the season. So a lot of these teams are like, if you're that one that lost that first one, come get that one back.
Well, there was another game just like that, and it was the Dolphins and the Chiefs.
We all knew that those fishes were frying in the pan.
Man, they were supposed to get their get back.
Watch out, brother. I got the grease going. Watch out.
Oh, okay.
We frying up dolphins out here.
Yeah.
Man, what is there good to say right now about these Dolphins right now? I mean, besides, man, Mahomes picked them apart. I mean, the part where his fucking helmet cracked, that was crazy.
That was pretty crazy. You know what else was crazy? Wow, what's his name? Andy Reid's mustache was frozen. I was like, damn, that shit.
He's going to lose little hairs going down.
That's crazy. But yeah, 26-7. The Chiefs won. Mahomes went in there, pretty much did what he had to do.
Yeah, picked them apart real quick, just handled it, scored a touchdown. Good move by the Chiefs. They knew how to play in that element. Obviously, it showed really hard that Tua and all of them, they couldn't even handle it out there. They were looking off. Every time he was throwing the ball, it almost seemed like all his passes were short. Like, for sure short.
He looked scared.
That too.
I
mean, shoot. I don't know, man. The Dolphins were exactly what we thought they were. They're just a bunch of bully ballers. They'll beat the teams that aren't good enough, but they'll obviously lose to the teams that are good enough. And that clearly showed. The weather, I guess you could really say, had a factor. I think that puts them at, 5 or 6 games in negative weather now that they've lost consecutively as a franchise. So, I mean, we're not playing the cold is all I got to say.
Yeah, I just feel like Tyreek Hill, he scored a touchdown. I mean, pretty deep pass.
I think he was the only touchdown scored.
One thing I do have to say, though, is just the fact that the fan base of Miami was pretty high on their team this year, and it's like, damn, you lose in the first round like that? Not even fight for a match? You feel me? Like, give the fan base a hope for the next year? Now you're like, all right, what are we doing next year?
It almost gives you that blow-up feel?
Yeah.
Nah, they won't blow up. I don't think so.
No, it's not a blow-up. I'm just saying, though, like, as a fan base, when you're supposed to be a top contender, not just making the playoffs, and having a great season all year, even though we called them the bullies and this and that, it's almost equivalent to the Dallas Cowboys.
Or is it more like who was that? Back in the day, San Diego Chargers. They had the number 1 offense, most yards and everything like that. And that's exactly who the Dolphins were. They had the number 1, I think, total yard offense, I think, this whole season. And they scored, they had the most yards and everything like that. So obviously moving the ball isn't a problem for them. But it was when it was in Kansas City. And, I mean, I don't know. Like, I felt like they should have got that run game going a little bit more, or like try to get that developed better. Because that, again, we all know how that works. You get the run game going, you get the passing game going. But, I mean, they went straight arrow right out the gate.
Yeah, but going back to their fan base, though, like, what kind of hope does that give them? Like, it's not like, okay, you lost the game in the first round, get blown out. What do you look forward to next season? You got the same goddamn quarterback. Same thing with the Cowboys. What do you look for next season? You got the same goddamn quarterback. Is it the quarterback? Is it the coordinators? There's a lot of fixing that has to go on, because when you talk about a Super Bowl window, You know, those windows are very thin.
Hella thin. Yeah.
Really thin. Like, people think that, oh, yeah, man, that window's halfway open. I don't think it ever gets like that.
Nah.
The window of a Super Bowl is always thin. Like, barely cold air is coming through.
Yeah, like any given Sunday.
Yeah. So, situations like this and you're getting blown out, do you have to start restructuring pretty bad?
I mean, I wouldn't say that you jump straight into a whole restructuring status, only because of the fact that, okay, this is this year?
For Tua?
Yeah.
They're about 4 or 5 because he came in with Burrow.
Oh, yeah, that's right. And then I think I seen that they were already talking about quarterback extensions with him. So, I mean, obviously they're putting all their money onto Tua. So, I mean, how can you, I guess, invest more in that defense?
Tyreek Hill has mentioned potentially retiring soon. He's saying, like, he's done everything he had to do already. Mm-hmm. What is there to prove?
He's already done everything, yeah.
He lost to his old team twice in one season. He's like, fuck, dude, what the fuck I got nothing to prove.
Why even risk an injury or whatever? I mean, his house damn near fucking burnt down.
Yeah.
That shit's crazy, man. So, as far as, like, you know what? Actually, now you say that part, that could really be a scary thing to think about as a Miami Dolphin fan. Because you got to remember, him and Tua's connection, as far as throwing that deep ball, I mean that's a cheat code. That's a cheat code. Tyreek Hill, he did it with Patrick.
I was going to say, I mean, you could put any quarterback with Tyreek, though.
And that's a cheat code.
Yeah.
So if you lose that cheat code, what do you really got? Waddle. Chase Claypool.
Yeah, I mean, they're in trouble.
I mean, you have a running back committee that's pretty legit, and Raheem and Jan, like that's a good running combo. But I mean, that's all you really got. I'm not saying that Jalen Waddle's like a solid number one. He's fitting perfect as a number 2 right now.
For sure.
But, you know, I don't know, man. As a Miami Dolphin fan, if I was a Dolphin fan and I had to think about what's going to happen next year, I really wouldn't be able to tell you.
Yeah, I think like what I'm trying to say is like why I say Cowboys and Dolphins are the same, because throughout the whole year we were calling them the same thing. They're both bullies.
Yep.
And then they both go down in the first round, but it's not like they're just losing. They're getting dominated. So it's like, all right, the bullies got really punched in the mouth, and it's like, bruh, you ain't who the hell no one thinks you are. Like, all right, buddy, you could try to be buff or try to be this bully. No one doesn't take you serious anymore. So what guy wants to be part of something like that? So going forward in the offseason, who wants to go play for these teams? They're a bunch of bullies. Question. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true.
So it's like they're in a really bad situation that both teams might have to start considering doing a quick rebuild, not like a blow up, but like,
yeah, get rid of like dead weight and then just bring in what you need, exactly what you need.
A minor setback.
Because like I think what was it? The Dolphins were missing a bunch of linebackers, I think, and they had to reach out and they signed a couple guys and they had to basically plug and play guys. So I mean, it's going to be interesting, and they were dealing with injuries a little bit for the Cowboys, not too many, but I think the Dolphins had a little bit more injuries on the defense side. Like Chubb was out, you know what I mean? It's all. Yeah, I think Miami might have a quicker rebuild, like the little quick step back rebuild than the Cowboys would, because I think the Cowboys there's a lot of things that got to get aired out.
Yeah,
put it there. I think,
and the Dolphins will keep their head coach.
Yeah, Mike McDaniels. He's doing good things there.
Yeah,
it's not like he hasn't been impressive at all.
So one thing, Juan, going into this next week, I was sitting there thinking, based on the matchups, is like you got the Houston Texans going into Baltimore, right? You got the Green Bay Packers going into San Francisco. Niners are favored to go all the way, so are the Ravens.
Yep.
2 rookies on both sides going against those guys.
Yep.
On the road. Those same 2 rookies did the same exact thing last year.
Yeah.
They were like identical stats.
Yeah.
Is this like an identical matchup?
You know, it possibly could be, but again, I think these 2 rookies are looking at 2 different like monsters. They're obviously 2 different dynamic teams. Like I feel the Niners, if they get their good ball rolling, that offense fucking takes off. And before you know it, you're down 14-0 and you're like, dude, we just kicked the ball off. When they're moving like that, you know what I mean? Again, but who is it? The Ravens, they're going to beat you up the whole way through, defensively and offensively. They're a physical-ass team. So, I mean, they're looking at 2 different monsters. It's just going to be, I think
they're both physical, though, bro. Like, Niners and Ravens are both physical. They both got offenses. They both got defenses. I think it's pretty much the same goddamn game is what I'm saying. They're both – the rookies are the same shit. They both did 2 pick sixes on the teams they just played.
Yeah.
They're both – it's like, bro, what the fuck kind of rig shit is this, bro?
Yeah, well, when you put it like that, it does kind of sound a little scripted.
It's like, what the?
Script.
I'm like, dude.
What page are you on right now anyways?
I didn't have the right script, obviously. I mean, I had the Cowboys in there. But
you had the wrong copy.
The wrong copy.
Version. You didn't get it updated.
But, again, out of those 2 teams, who can you possibly see an upset? I don't see either one. But if you had to lean towards one, like let's just say next week one of those teams get upset.
Who would I put my money on for the upset?
Obviously, I mean, I think we both have Ravens-Niners.
Yeah, I mean that's the easiest go-to for the Super Bowl route.
Not even the Super Bowl, but like well,
to win this game,
games.
if I for sure, the Ravens and Niners. But if I had to pick an upset, I would rather see CJ win. I would like to see that one.
Is that personal?
I mean, it has a little bit conflicting, but I mean the Green Bay one could be conflicting too because,
true.
There's a little bit more of that could be a little bit of a jab in there. Can you imagine? Let's just say hypothetically speaking, what would your thought process be? Damn, the Packers really upset the Niners. A-Rod never did. Jordy did it his first time. Damn, not even that much different of a team.
Yeah.
Can you imagine, let's say he had...
And going against a way better Niner team, too.
Yeah, for sure. So, I mean, in San Francisco, too. So, I mean, bro, that'd be a wild... That's a wild thought.
So, you're leaning towards Houston?
I'd say Houston wins, but, I mean, I would like to see that Jordan Love one get that win over the Niners. That would be hella tight to see.
Yeah, as far as headlines, for sure. But if we were to stamp a for sure win this week, I think we're all going Niners.
Yeah.
Right?
For sure.
So, anybody that's watching,
who's your prediction on the upset?
I'm leaning towards Houston also. If I had to choose between those 2 games, I would say C.J. Stroud just has a monster game. So does Lamar Jackson, but let's say the last drive, C.J. just drives him down, gets a field goal.
Damn, that'd be great.
Something like that. I do got Baltimore winning. So do you. Mm. But if we had to choose an upset, we would lean towards Houston.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Now, let me ask you this. If, let's say, Baltimore does lose this one, right? Do you believe that would hurt Lamar Jackson's odds at the MVP?
No, because the MVP has nothing to do with playoffs.
Oh, that's true.
The votes stop at the season, which I don't like. I think it should carry on to the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
It should. And that would say for Coach of the Year for Houston, DeMeco Ryan. Even MVP for C.J. Stroud. Those are my 2 front runners. I had Lamar Jackson and C.J. Stroud. So possibly those are my 2 MVPs right there playing against each other.
And then let's say they did continue. I mean, if CJ won that one, I think that kind of gives them a little bit of a boost of an MVP.
Yeah, but
if it would have continued,
the voting.
Yeah, if the voting continued, yeah,
definitely. Let's go into the other one though. The Chiefs going into Buffalo. Kind of touched it a little bit with Diggs getting his revenge, his get back. You were saying,
yep,
that's going to be a good game.
I believe so too. It's going to be in the hands of the Buffalo Bills. But see, here's the thing though too. Like they can't let up on the gas and give opportunity like they kind of gave us, like to hang around, because that's been their kryptonite all season, man. They leave these teams to fucking stick around, and we all believe in the Mahomes magic. He's done it before, time and time again, and he could possibly pull one off if the Bills fuck around and let him stay in the game for too long.
Definitely. So, are you leaning towards the Bills?
I'm gonna go ahead and run with the Buffalo Bills, even though I've already doubted them like hella heavy, but I think they know what's on at this table right now, and they're gonna need to handle this game against the Chiefs and get that one back. Not only that part, but they need to get there. That window, it's right there, right, getting ready to close, bro.
Yeah,
you can barely slide a piece of paper through it for them.
Yeah, for sure. Again, you're taking Buffalo.
I'm taking Buffalo to win.
Okay.
Would I be surprised if Kansas City wins? No.
Yeah,
but I think I would go with Buffalo. What about you, Rich? Break it down for us.
I think that it's going to be a good game, basically, because they know each other. It's like almost a division game in a way because they've seen each other so many goddamn times in the past 3 years. But one thing, the way that game ended last night.
Yesterday.
Steeler game.
Yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday. That Steeler game, I'm just like, they lost like momentum of that game so bad that I was just like, this is the old Bills of earlier this season when we were doubting them all year. It's hard to bounce back from that. Now, I get it. You won the game. I'm not taking nothing from you, and you have a tough game coming in. But the way the Chiefs have looked against the Dolphins, they were really physical. Like, that's kind of what they were missing all season. It's kind of the opposite. So the Bills started the game off hella good and ended pretty bad. But the Chiefs were physical all damn game. I like how their DBs were really hands-on with the receivers from the 5-yard bump.
Yep.
Like, I don't know if you've seen that
That
video.
one where he smashed Tyreek into the ground.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, shit.
Yeah, that's pretty, like, street right there.
To get in the face.
Yeah. So I think that's what it takes in the playoffs. Now, again, Buffalo could win the game easily. Definitely. I'm not taking nothing away from what they're doing. But I'm going to just go with the magic. I think Patrick Mahomes is going to pull it off again. And it would be pretty crazy to see that again with Mahomes on the road since we haven't seen it yet. I kind of want to see it on the road. And if he can do that, it's like, all right, hats off to you, Mahomes. Because my criticism in the playoffs is like, bro, you always at home. It's like a Tom Brady effect. Like, you're always at home.
Yep.
When he had to go on the road, he kind of struggled. So, again, if he could win on the road, that kind of gives him the edge on the greatness of other people.
That'll put us in that category.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
We'll see, though.
Then let's go ahead and get into the other one. Let's go. The last and final one is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers going to Detroit. Rich, break it down to us. Who you got winning? Who do you see? Who can you see potentially winning this game? And how do you see them kind of pulling this one out?
Yeah, it would be pretty hard to bet against the Lions on this game just because they're at home, and it's pretty hard to believe in the Bucs. I know they just beat the Eagles. They look pretty good, Baker Mayfield, but I can't go against the Lions at home with that matchup at least. I had the Rams last week beating the Lions. They lost by 1, but the Lions, I can't take the Bucs serious, man. I haven't been able to take them serious all season. And it's messed up to sound that way, but it's like, I'm sorry, dude. Like,
they don't give you that confidence. Kind of like how
it's like the dude's holding his head, the little kid's head, and he's just swinging at you. Like,
oh shit!
Yeah, bro.
The little brother effect.
The little brother effect. Like, I'm sorry, bro.
Yeah, that's a tough one to think about. Like, but again, chip on the shoulder, Baker. He might be able to do something, but not this weekend because the Detroit Lions are going to win this one for me. I believe they'll win. I say the Detroit still faces the issues that they've been facing kind of towards the end of the season where, like, these small little minor collapses and, like, in the middle towards the end of the game kind of stuff where they give out these big plays to allow these teams to kind of stay in the games. Kind of almost similar, like, to what the Buffalo Bills do. But, I mean, I think the ones that hurt the Lions more often is when they're in that quick striking range. That's the part where their defense needs to, like, step it up and, like, hey, we need that stop. They need to get that stop. It's been too many times where they give it up at that last second. I mean, obviously, we've seen some of their games, how they ended out and how they went down. So, I mean, as long as they can keep that game a nice little distance between, them and the Bucs, I think they should be able to kind of, like, stay clear of a possible relapse or collapse.
I also feel like I kind of really need them to win because if the Bucs win and the Niners win, goddamn, that's an easy road.
Fuck.
You would just play the Packers and the Bucs, and you're in the finals or Super Bowl. It's just I need to see
some competition
in the conference finals. It's a must see. So,
I mean, what the cool thing is that hopefully if the Lions and the Niners do go there, they haven't seen each other all year. And those guys have kind of been the top dogs in the NFC. So we'll get to see that one. And then the same thing with the other side of the NFC and the AFC. Will be if the Ravens get there.
You get either Buffalo or Chiefs.
And those have been the top dogs on that side. So that's going to be very cool to see. Hopefully we get those matchups.
For sure.
But, I mean, not doubting any of the other teams like the Packers. Hopefully they pull it off. Whatever happens. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Maybe all the top dogs go down and all the underdogs are the ones left.
And then, Juan, before we close out, just real quick, this is some DMs we've been getting as far as the Raiders head coach because it could happen really soon. And I just wanted to throw it out there before this playoffs ended because it could happen this week as far as who their head coach could be. And they're pushing for Antonio Pierce to stay there. Do you think he will be the head coach for the Las Vegas Raiders? And do you think it's the right choice if it is?
So, like, it's kind of like a weird double-edged sword. I don't know if you saw that one I had to get some clarification, but I guess it wasn't all the way true. But they're saying that Crosby was like, if you guys don't get Pierce back, I'm out. I read that one, and I was like, whoa. I had to hit up my cousin Joe. I hit up Joe. So what's up with it, Joe? Shout out. And he was like, nah, bro, that's not even how it went down. It wasn't even like that. It was just like saying that he really wants him there. There was no threatening of I'm leaving or I want to demand a trade or nothing like that. But if you got guys who really want a specific coach, defense, and especially I think it's kind of a defensive thing.
I thought Max Crosby said that, bruh. He said if you don't get Antonio Pierce, I want out.
Nah, Joe clarified it for me. That's not how it went down. I'm 100% sure that's how cousin Joe broke it down. So, anyways, as far as the right fit, I mean, give him a year. Let him see what happens. I mean, are you either going to get better or you're going to be worse? Give him the 1 year deal, let him prove himself, then go from there.
Okay, so you're heading towards the Pierce route?
I say go with Pierce because the guys want to play. They will play for him.
I don't think he's going to get a 1 year if he signs, though. It's going to be like a 3 year because you got to give him some years to improve.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not against that coaching route, but I think you got to get a solidified guy that's already proven, like a Harbaugh. I think that's a better fit, personally. I get the whole identity of looking like a Raider, feeling like a Raider, and a Raider is a Raider. He fits that image and how he's carrying that identity of the Raiders, but I think they're at that. You need I don't know how to explain it, but you need a guy that's proven it already. Now I get Pierce can be that guy, but he hasn't proven anything. Like he's a player, a coordinator, and he's getting his chance. I'm not knocking him again. This isn't like saying he's not a good coach. He did a couple good things this end of the year, and he's got them feeling like they're playing for him. Yep. Kind of like we expressed it earlier this year about the Lions. Mm-hmm. Kind of like how that head coach.
Dan Campbell.
Yep. So if they can go that route and look like Campbell, then they do got something cooking.
Yeah, that's true too. If he does stick around and stay there, like there's I read an article. I don't know how true it is. Again, this is not an official statement or whatever, but they're saying that if Pierce stays, they're going to do whatever they can to recruit USC's coach. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. And then after that, they try to move up and see if they could trade for Caleb. Can you imagine? You got your college coach plus his coach with that mentality that Antonio Pierce has, and a whole new I think that'd be a good start for like a good bang. But I mean, getting up to that trade part, that's going to be the hard part.
For sure. I mean, they got a lot of moves to go in the offseason, so I think you're going to keep with Antonio Pierce.
Yeah, fuck it, why not? Give him a chance.
I'm going towards Harbaugh. So all Raider fans, you got Pierce, you got Harbaugh. Either way, you're probably landing one of them.
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, again, going back to what you said, there's a lot of coaches that are already solidified that are all available right now.
You got Belichick out there.
Yeah, that's another one.
Yeah.
He just met with who was that? Atlanta. So I mean, we'll see.
We'll get into that in another future episode.
For sure.
Juan, what do we always say on this show?
If you're a king, you belong at the table. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel and on Instagram too. We'll see you guys on the next one.
Gone.